Yeah.
So that's why, till this day, you get Audemars Piguet that make things
Yeah.
like this. This is their Grand Complication watch, right? I happen to have a very special one. This one is piece unique. It's one of one. It was made for Prince Albert. It was made to benefit his water foundation. They made it in stainless steel and rose gold. This is the type of stuff that Audemars Piguet was making in the very beginning to put into complicated pocket watches.
I remember.
Perpetual calendar, minute repeater, split second chronograph. You know, two of the most complicated things that can be made in the watch, which is a split second, well, three I should say. Perpetual calendar, split second chronograph.
Can we hear that, the minute repeater?
Absolutely.
One more time?
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to set this time so it chimes longer. Hold on.
So the minute repeater, just explain exactly for the people who don't know.
So on demand, by depressing this lever right here, or rather pushing it up, what it will do is on demand will chime out the hours, the quarter hours, and the minutes, basically telling you audibly what time it is.
Okay, let's hear it. Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, let me just get this to it.
Grand Complication and the ticket on this
so
one.
you might want to, your iPhone will hear this. So ready?
We'll put it next to you, Mike. Can I grab it for a second? Yeah, so people can hear it. What is this tin 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 tin? What does that sound? That's the quarters or the?
So yeah, first
tell me how to listen to it. Yeah.
So well, it's probably stopped at this point, but
sure.
Basically it's going to chime out 11 first dings. They're going to sound the same. Then it's going to change the chime to a different, and it's going to go 3 times quarter hours because right now it's showing 11. I set it to 11:52, and then it's going to chime 7 times for the minutes. So that will tell you the first chime will tell you how many hours it is. The second chime how many quarter hours. And then the last chime will tell you the actual minutes.
And this was initially, was this for like the vision impaired or something like that?
No,
or is it
this was, you have to understand something, going back to as far as we
just
can
for
go
the,
back,
the sake of it?
we're talking about pocket watches, right?
Right, 18 something?
You know, no, we're going back a little bit further. So when you set up that minute repeater in your pocket watch, it was a way. It was modeled after grandfather clocks, about the tower clocks and all those things. How did people around town know what time it is? Nobody had a clock hanging in their houses. They didn't have electricity, right? So it's like, oh, what time is it? And people have always been used to audibly listening to what time it is, and it just translated into a much smaller package.
There you go. Well, this is the information you get when you sell $1 billion worth of watches.
So this, you know, market price, we have this listed for $750,000 right now.
Right. And you're not going to have a hard time seeing it go. Why don't you just?
I have, you know what's funny? It's funny you asked that. There's so many times that I fall in love with something that comes across my desk, and I feel like I always have a hard time letting
This
things
is a
go.
piece to keep. I mean, what do you want to sell? What do you want to flip
Remember
this?
what I always say, these things are not investments, right? They're expensive toys first and foremost, and in a business model we're in, you buy diamonds, colored stones by thousands of carats.
Right.
Now compare market price on loose diamonds today versus a year ago. But I bet you if you go back to where diamonds were much lower, and you held them from that time till today
You're
versus
not
how
gonna
many
make more
times.
money, no.
Exactly. You're going to make a lot more money if you keep the wheel turning, right?
Right.
We're not in the whole business, we're in the sell business.
You keep the wheel turning, no problem. But that's a piece that.
So since we're talking about oldies but goodies, here's another upcomer today, and that is, believe it or not, Roger Dubuis. And people are going to say, Roger Dubuis, I thought that didn't have good resale value and so on and so forth. So this is a sleeper that I recognized a while ago. This is pre-Richmond Group, before they bought him. Roger Dubuis was always a great watchmaker. They've always made wonderful watches. And this is a watch that they made roughly around 20 of. Very complicated watch. It's a retrograde perpetual calendar. By retrograde, see how you sort of have these half circles in the middle? That's what makes it called a retrograde. This is a perpetual calendar and a chronograph all in one. This was piece number 15. Out of I think 20. It's not a limited edition. They went to limited edition after this. They started making everything in an edition of 28.
Right.
And it just goes to show that there are certain pieces out there, if you can quickly recognize them. This is a watch that traded, back when me and you started, you could probably pick this watch up around $15,000 to $20,000.
My brother, you got an artificial intelligence in your head with all the info, so it's going to be very difficult to keep up.
So, you know, this watch is a watch that went from $15,000 to today you can ask $100,000 for it because you don't have anybody else out there with it.
All the other big boys, they know, right? Because a guy like me, you know what I'm saying, you tell me, hey, would you like this watch for $500? I'll be like,
How many diamonds does it have in it? So I'll show you one more Rolex, which I feel is special.
Yeah, this is what
you talked about date dates, right?
Right.
Last time I was at your spot, you showed all these date dates and you saw real value. Well, there's a lot more value to these older date dates than just the fact that it's a nice gold watch from the best name in the business, the #1 name in the business, which is Rolex. But there's levels to this shit, as they say, right? So this is the good old date from 1989, right?
With all the fixing, box
So
papers,
this
everything.
is what we call NOS, new old stock, right? This thing has got the original sticker in the back. It even still has the sticker on the bracelet.
NOS, new old stock. That's an
There you go.
important term for the beginners out there. if you
So
really wanna know.
with this said, seemingly again nothing special until you see that little Conjar logo on the dial. Again, made for the Sultanate of Oman in 1889. Somebody literally either got this watch as a gift or bought it, stuck it in the back of the safe for 30 years. Has been sitting there ever since. So value of a watch like this, if you take away the Conjar dial, and let's let it be NOS, and if the minute you take away the Conjar dial, this is a watch that's sub 20,000.
Mm-hmm.
The minute you see a Conjar dial on this, the condition, the box, and the papers, and everything else that this thing comes with,
Forget
now
it.
all of a sudden the watch is shooting up to a value of 70,000, simply because not only that there were not a lot of Conjar logos made out there, there was also there's not a whole lot of NOS watches left like this.
Let me
and to
ask you.
collectors, it's,
Let
pretty
me ask
badass.
you, if there's somebody out there with, a watch in the back of their safe, and they want to liquidate it, would they be able to hit you up or hit up your staff?
This is what we do all day, every day. I've gone as far as buy single watches one at a time, and we go. I mean, I have guys that I've dealt with that put a $5, $6, $10 million collection in front of me. So it's sky's the limit, as you say.
Right.
Oftentimes I'll get out there sometimes and be like, oh my God, this guy wants to sell a $3 million collection. I can't exactly write a check for $3 million this very Monday. So we start to scramble like everybody else does.
No, don't hit me with the scram. You wait 3 days, offload something, and then your
Absolutely,
bank
and that's
account's
what I mean by
replenished.
scrambling. Listen, everything what we have is liquid, and for us, it's not. It doesn't make any sense for us to have money in the bank in a business, right? Personal bank accounts is different, but business accounts, it makes no sense to hold cash simply because if we're holding cash, we're not making money.
That's right.
If we're
that's
holding
what I explained.
merchandise, we're making money.
People don't understand. That's a tough one for them to get. Anything in that box, or is this box?
So this is another AP.
And we can round it out. They
Again,
learn
something
too much.
something different.
You got to watch this video 2-3 times, and you can put on the quarter of the speed when he talks, so you can understand.
So Star Wheel, right, was another weird little AP watch that you used to be able to pick up for about $10,000 to $15,000 until now, where they started fetching good results in auction, right?
Yeah, this is.
So
a
this
timepiece
is something.
right here, bro.
This is something that most will look at and say, "What is this weird thing? I don't even know what the hell this is." The Star Wheel movement was actually inspired by a minister that wanted to know what time it is while laying in bed by looking at the tower out of his window. Except he couldn't see the time really well, so he put these 3 glass discs in front of his window that would move and that would allow him to see the time better as he would wake up out of his bed. A little bit of history behind you, but overall, again. I go for, not only do I go for stuff that's rare and not many made,
Can I see
I
this?
go for condition. This is another NOS watch with
Yeah.
all the bells and whistles and the
This
original
is an
manuals.
incredible timepiece. I really like this piece, to be honest. My uncle has a watch like this. I think it's the same case. They used this case before?
Yeah, of
Right,
course.
this is a popular case, but obviously not this dial. An incredible timepiece. This is real classy on a different level, right?
Not for everyone.
You could go like a Trax watch, or you could go this. There's 2 different realities. This is a watch I made myself. It's not the best watch to wear today, but you know what I'm saying?
So what? It doesn't
Well,
matter. It's your watch.
Yeah.
How many guys you know that make their own watches?
I guess
I
not a
don't.
lot. Yeah, I guess not
Exactly.
a lot. Well, there you go. So, listen, Roman, you schooled us. You put us on. You practically did charity over here, but we appreciate you, bro. And this is it. And you're about to watch a conversation about entrepreneurship between me and him. But I appreciate you guys learning from me and Roman over here. Mostly Roman, I would say.
Hey, listen.
And listen, man,
I said it to you
Nothing but thank
before.
you.
Educating your consumer should be everyone's number one priority. I don't care if you're selling watches. I don't care if you're selling jewelry or whatever it is you may be selling. And that's what's made me successful in the last 20 years. And this is what made you successful. I follow you. I watch you. I watch your videos. I watch your shorts. I watch your long videos. And I see that you do a lot of the same thing, except it's a bit of a
Exactly.
different ball game.
this is the difference. He has rare Audemars, and I have Schmoopy the squirrel.
Schmoopy the squirrel is a star in this office. He walked in there this morning, and all of my videographers said, Schmoopy.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Hey, thank you for coming out. I appreciate it as well.